doing the shot. If you don't want to be in it, then yeah, it's up to you now. I'll put you on YouTube, Courtney. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, so what we're about to do is because the engine's out and everything's covered in oil, it's pretty dirty. And I painted all of this stuff last year, so it is all nice and clean underneath. So while it's out, I am gonna give it a jet wash. So I'm gonna be lazy and probably just use some snow foam. But I also found some damage on my downpipe from where it's been rubbing. So it's hit my silencer and it's touching on the car just under there. So if you watch that time lapse that just happened, this is sick. I've literally got an engine in here in like a basket all the way around, and I'm just gonna roll it out and jet wash it, and it just went in and out so smoothly. So if you saw in the last episode, we took the engine out of the car and found the clutch was dead. And now the engine is on the engine stand. So my uncles have very kindly come down from London. These are two of the people that are the reason why we like cars so much. So we are gonna take this sump off, and what are we doing actually after this?
Just checking lateral play of the crankshaft. So we're gonna remove the sump and check the lateral play.
Okay, so yeah, that's the plan. Now I have ended up buying a whole load of other parts. I was supposed to just fix the clutch, but I've got a new exhaust manifold, I've got a new exhaust system basically. So while we're in here, we're also going to sort this turbo out, because this is my Relentless Pro 4 manifold, and I did weld it last year, but all the welds have basically cracked. And all of the 20 valve guys know that this manifold is basically useless. So I've got a proper cast manifold now, and we will be upgrading to that. So stay tuned. Sorry guys, I have not updated what we've been doing. We've just been working. So my uncle has sorted out my rust cover leak, because that's been constant issue for like 2 years now. And we are just in the process of taking the sump off. So one of the areas what we wanted to check was the lateral play in the crank, because oftentimes the symptom or the issue can only be a symptom, but it could be the cause of a greater issue. So we want to check the lateral play in the crank to make sure that's not what damaged my crank seal. All right, guys, so we've got good news. We've done the check on the crank, and the crank is okay. It's actually within spec. So that means we're all right on the lateral play of the crankshaft. Now, that's been my biggest worry. And that's why my uncles very kindly decided to come down and help check it for me, because when it comes to stuff like that, it's so precise and it's so down to like really tight tolerances that it has to be perfect. Now that that's okay, I can rule my crank seal failing just down to a bad quality part. Now I've actually brought a genuine one from TPS now, so I won't be making that mistake again. So we're just gonna put it back together. But just having the peace of mind of opening it up and checking it, you know, since it is out, is great. I didn't think I'd ever see these con rods again, so it's kind of nice to look at them and see that it is actually a forged engine. So we have fitted the new crank seal, and this time I went to TPS and got an original one. So my uncle did the hard job of putting it in, and now that means he is the warranty now. But we are, well, I mean, fingers crossed, we should be all right. It's a genuine VW part, or I should say Audi, because the car's an Audi, but that's it. So I guess we're going to put the sump on now and try and put as much of the engine back together as possible. Yeah. Okay, so you can tell I'm happy now because I think we're done for the day. So big shout out to my uncles. But engine is back together, sump is on, no lateral play in the crank, and I mean I can just crack on now. So I've got to put the engine back together. There's a little bit of work I've got to do to the turbo, and I've got a new manifold as well, which I'm going to take home and port. So after I do stuff like that, I'll start putting this back together and we should get the engine back together. But guys, thank you very much for watching. But this has been another episode of Pritpal's Projects. Please like, comment, share and subscribe if you like the content, and we will be back with more.